half your baking things live in the oven. Is that too noisy? Are you filming? So, if you're anything like me, maybe I need to put on a pair of shoes instead of slopping around slippers. Hi everybody, it's been ages since we've done something like this, but this weekend's special because I have my grandchildren here staying with me and it's really exciting. So I thought we'd cook a roast for them tonight, but then I thought, it's freezing cold, it's wintry, we'll light the open fire, we'll have Christmas in July. So suddenly it went from a plain ordinary roast to a lots of fun and Christmassy feeling. So we've set the table up today for Christmas. We've got a roast we're going to make. We're going to make some custard to go with tartare, which I haven't made before, but we're going to do that today. And we're going to do a cauliflower au gratin. So we're going to have a play with lots of things this afternoon. So first of all, I thought we better make the custard first so that can sit and wait. We can have it hot or cold, and then we'll get on to the next thing. So let's do some custard. I'm going to make an egg custard, which I usually do for Christmas and high days and holidays. So it's Christmas, so we're making an egg custard. Elise is going to help me do the eggs, so come on over, Elise. She's going to separate. We've got 6 eggs. We're going to separate them. If you put the whites in there and the yolks in there, that would be really good. So Elise and I have just separated the egg yolks from the egg whites. So I'm going to do 6 egg yolks today, which is just a bit more than the normal one, but for Christmas I usually do 12, so this is cutting it right down half. I usually make pavlova rolls with the egg whites that I keep, but today I'm going to freeze them so that I can make something meringue later on. But today we're just going to do just the custard. Now it's 6 egg yolks and it will require 3/4 cup of sugar. So I do 3/4 cup, but sometimes I do just a little bit less. You can always add a bit more, but if it's too sweet, it's overbearing. So what we do is just pop it on to cream it up. And while that's creaming, we have to scald the milk and the cream. So it requires 1.25 cups of milk. And I'll just put that on. Now I do, when I'm cooking custard, I usually do it in a bain-marie, which means the water's on the bottom of the saucepan and then you've got another pot above that. And so it's a bit slower, but you're not going to ruin your custard by doing it like that. Otherwise it can go very eggy very quickly. And I need to have 3/4 cup of cream. And I just need to scald this milk. So when the eggs are done, you pop it all in together. I hope everybody's put the 5 kilos on that everybody seems to have over this last few months of having the sitting home for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, looking in the fridge, finding something else to eat. Now that's nice and creamy. I'll just let that dribble for a minute, and just while I just keep scalding the milk. And also at this stage I like to add some vanilla, so I'll add some vanilla to this. Nothing like nice creamy rich custard that's vanilla-y. Egg custard's beautiful. It's just getting it right. You've got to get it right. You can't let it curdle. That's almost scalded now, and I'm going to add the whipped egg yolks and sugar. I'll just turn that down a little bit. Give that a stir. So you don't want to cook the egg yolks before the milk's done, otherwise you're going to have a terrible mess. Now if you can hear little bumps and giggles in the background, it's the other grandchildren playing on the stairwell. I don't think they realise we're filming. We just need to just bring that. Don't ever bring your egg custard to the boil, because you'll have it turning curdled and you'll be sorry. You'll have to start again. So you have to really watch it now and stop when it coats the back of the spoon. It's almost done. Can you see that coating the back of the spoon? It just gets just a slightly warmer than that. That's just about ready, but not quite. Let's just get to just a slightly different look about it. Otto's here today and he's having a wonderful time with the children. He thinks the children have come to see him, but they haven't. They've come to see us. Okay. Now, making an egg custard is very quick, but what I usually do when I've made an egg custard, I usually put it through a sieve, just in case there's any eggy bits in it that people are going to turn up their noses at. So I just put it through the sieve, just to make sure. Oh. There we go, all down the side of the jug. Elise, come here and hold the sieve for me, darling, please. Fine line when making egg custard between cooked and curdled. Better to be a little bit unsure than curdle it, because it doesn't taste good, or it tastes the same but it just doesn't look the same. So I always put it through the sieve just because I want to. So then we have egg custard ready for this evening. So the egg custard's made now. I'll just put a little cloth over that jug and set it aside. So that's the egg custard for this evening, to go with the apple tart that I'm making soon. Okay. Now, we successfully managed the custard. Now we're going to do the cauliflower au gratin. Now, this is my recipe. Other people might have a recipe, but this is how I do it. Hello, you two. What can I do for you?
A glass of water.
A glass of water? You sure can. Please, darling Nanny.
Please, darling Nanny.
There you go. You can do it. There you go, sweetheart. What I do is I cook a whole cauliflower at once, and then I make a white sauce while that's steaming or cooking. So I just put a whole cauliflower into a saucepan. There was a little bit of leftover, so I put that in there too. A little bit of salt. Not much, but a little bit. And let that kind of steam. Until it's nearly cooked. So in the meantime, I put the oven on and I start making a white sauce for it. Now we're going to make the white sauce. Now I just make it up out of my head, but if you want to follow a recipe, you'll have to look one up, I think. So I just put some butter to melt, about that much. Just melt that down. When that's melted, I add some flour and I stir the flour until the flour's cooked, and it's kind of necessary to do that because you don't want a floury tasting white sauce. It tastes terrible. Now don't brown the butter, just keep it so that it's So it's just melted, but not browned. And as soon as the butter's melted, add some flour. Now I usually do kind of a tablespoon and a little bit more. You want it thick, but not really thick. And you give that a stir. And while that's stirring, the flour's actually cooking. Okay, now you've cooked your flour, and now you need to add some milk to that. I'll just take that off the heat because we don't want to burn it, the butter or the flour. And then we just add the milk in. Oh, I do it till it looks right. Usually about 1.5 cups or so of milk. But I add it in little dribbles so that I can stir it and it doesn't get too lumpy. There's nothing worse than a lumpy white sauce. And that, again, if you find your white sauce is getting lumpy, just put it through the sieve or do the bar mix in it or something. It's such fun cooking with the children and the dog. The dog's running around chewing up paper and anything he can get hold of. The children are running around playing games, and I think one's outside trying to get the drone going. And the other two are sitting patiently watching me, having a good giggle at me. And the camera woman's going nuts. Add some salt to your white sauce and some pepper and some mustard. A good teaspoon of mustard. And then of course you need to add some cheese. And this is the easy way of doing grating. I just grate it in till it looks right. I use tasty cheese, you can use cheddar, whatever you like. It all tastes good. There's no rules, I don't think. If there are, I've broken them. Are you ready to film over here or not?
I'm filming.
Oh. I'm going to come to you. The white sauce is ready and cooked, so it's not.
Whoa. What are we doing?
It's not too thick, but just thick enough to. So that has some mustard in it, salt and pepper, and some cheese, and that's ready to go. Now I'll show you what to do. Now I have a dish that I've had for probably nearly 50 years, and it's a wonderful dish because it's wide enough and it's oven proof. Okay, the cauliflower's done. Sometimes I do a bigger cauliflower, but they didn't have any in the shops today, so I had a little bit left over from the other day, so I thought I'd just put that round too. And I love that cauliflower bit, so I'm going to cook that too. So there's the cauliflower. Pour the white sauce over the top of the cauliflower. The children don't realise that we're filming, but it's okay because they're children and it's fun. And it's Christmas in July. Okay. So now what I do is I put some butter on top of this, just some nice pieces of butter. And then I put some more cheese on top. Really doesn't take long to do this. It's a bit of a fiddle, but it doesn't take that. And then some paprika, just to give it a little bit of colour and a little bit of a kick. And then I usually make my own breadcrumbs. So with any bread that's left over, I just cut it up and pop it in the oven till it's crisp, and then I just vitamise it up. So if you think the breadcrumbs are funny, it's all different coloured breads all mixed up together. Put that on because that'll give it a lovely crispy top. A little tiny bit more butter. This is really turning out to be really a lot of fun. Okay, now that's done. Sophie, is the camera still going?
Yeah.
Oh, good. So while Sophie's chasing the dog and one of the children around the house, going to put this in the oven for about 20 minutes or less. Till it's done a final little cook. And Christmas is all about having fun, so promise you, we're all having fun here. And now that we're just so organised and having a lot of fun, we're going to put the roast in the oven, because if I don't, nobody will be eating tonight. So earlier today, I did some vegetables. So I've cut up the vegetables. I've got potatoes and pumpkin and carrots and yams in there. I'm going to cook those, just parboil them, just to give it a little bit of a kick. And while that's doing that, I'm going to put in the turkey. This is the turkey buff I had left over from Christmas, December. So I'm just going to put that in the oven now. And according to the packaging, this goes in for just on 2 hours. So I'm going to take it out of that because I don't like cooking in aluminium. That's that. I'll pop that in the oven with the cauliflower. I might need a bit more oil in that, because when the veggies are done, they're all going in with it. It's just.
I started that again because I wasn't recording.
We're making tartare. Hope I got it right. It's French, and it's really just an apple pie in a funny sort of a way, but it looks delicious. So I'm going to make that. So I needed to peel and core 4 apples. So I've peeled them, but I haven't cored them. So I'll just quickly core them. Now, while I'm doing that, I'll just explain that you need 2 sheets of puff pastry, and they need to be thawed. So they're busy being thawed as I speak. And this requires just a sort of a toffee base or a caramel base, and then it goes into the oven to be cooked. So they're getting their beds ready now upstairs. Oh,
Do you need sheets or something?
one actually is ready and one isn't. Or 2 aren't. Although I haven't had time yet. It's been a busy day, one way or another. I just read the recipe, and I need to just make this circular. This is just kind of a bit big for this, but it'll do because I can put this one in the oven. So now I'm just going, so it needs 2 sheets of puff pastry, and just press gently together just to make it a bit thicker. And with this pan, I'm going to make the toffee or the caramel sauce. And I just add a cup of caster sugar and 1/4 cup of sugar. No, 1/4 cup of water. And stir that. Now,
Everyone's just added caster sugar.
a 3/4 cup of caster sugar, 1/4 cup of water, and you just stir that till it's dissolved. And you know the golden rule with toffee, you just stir it till it's dissolved and then let it cook itself, otherwise it goes sugary. Sophie, are you filming?
Yep.
Right, now you need to add 50 grams of unsalted butter to the toffee or the caramel sauce, because it's nearly ready and it's looking good. And just stir the butter, not the actual toffee sauce.
Yep.
I've added 50 grams of unsalted butter to that. And now the apple, and I'll just put it in like this. And I think I could probably just put 1 more apple in that, which I'm going to do. Let's run off with my kitchen paper. Okay, now it's time to put the pastry on top of the apple. I'm just going to tuck the corners down underneath the apple. Now, we've put the pastry on top of the apple and it's going to go in the oven now. So around 190, 200 for about 25 minutes until the pastry rises and it's all crunchy and nice looking. So we'll see how this goes because I haven't made this one before. We have a beautiful cauliflower au gratin. So I'll just pull that out of the oven. That's looking pretty good. Turkey's coming on nicely. And now I'm going to add the vegetables to the roast.
And there was these lots of little things like needles.
Guess what? Dinner's ready. We've got some turkey, some onions, vegetables, green vegetables, and now I'm just plating up the yellow and orange vegetables. So children are all sitting at the table waiting patiently or impatiently for dinner, but it's finally happened and we're having it. So we're going to have Christmas in July and we're anticipating a fun Christmas dinner.
And the apple pie?
And the apple pie, it's worked a treat too. Just let me get that. That's ready too. So that's for dessert. And we've got some lovely custard to eat with that and the cream. So there's dinner, dessert, and the gravy's just still on the pan, but it's ready to go. So, Merry Christmas in July, and enjoy your lockdown for those that are locked down, and I guess it's our turn next soon, I suppose. We'll all be locked down again. So just don't forget to like and subscribe and tick and tell all your friends. Thank you. Have fun. We are. Bye now.